It was one of those perfect summer Sundays on my ranch. Sun out, grill fired, friends gathered, country music playing low in the background. I had ribs marinating since last night, corn ready for roasting, and my golden retriever, Duke, already posted up beside the grill, drooling like he'd been hypnotized by the smell of hickory smoke. It was the kind of day that makes you forget stress exists. At least, until you remember who your neighbor is, Karen. Now, I hadn't heard from her in weeks, which, in HOA terms, is either a good sign or the calm before the HOA storm. Spoiler, it was the storm. Right around noon, as I flipped a rack of ribs, I saw the curtain from her second-floor window flutter open. Her face peeked out like she was scanning for illegal activity, binoculars and everything. 2 minutes later, she stormed out of her house, phone in hand, marching toward me like she was serving divine justice. "Excuse me," she barked, waving her clipboard. "What is that smell?" I smiled. "Barbecue. Smells great, right?" She wrinkled her nose. "It smells like toxins. Do you have a permit for this?" "A permit to grill ribs?" I blinked. "Karen, it's a barbecue, not a bonfire. This entire area," she announced dramatically, "falls under HOA health safety regulations. You can't just burn meat out in the open air. People have allergies." I looked around. The nearest house was half a football field away. "Karen, the only thing allergic here is your attitude," she gasped. "Excuse me? I'll have you know, smoke inhalation is a human rights violation if it affects others' ability to breathe clean air." I almost dropped the tongs laughing. "A human rights violation?" She jabbed a finger at me. "You're poisoning the community." At that point, my buddy Rick was already choking on laughter from behind the cooler. "Hey, Mike," he said between snickers. "Better call the UN before she files for sanctions." Karen turned on him. "This isn't funny. I'm reporting this immediately." And that's when I realized she wasn't bluffing. She actually dialed 911. "Hello? Yes," she said into the phone, pacing dramatically. "I'd like to report a biohazard incident. My neighbor is releasing carcinogens into the air through an unlicensed meat fire." The dispatcher must have said something, because Karen's expression went red. "What do you mean it's not illegal? He's violating basic human rights." 15 minutes later, 2 sheriff's deputies rolled up, lights flashing, probably wondering what sort of chaos awaited them. One of them, Officer Jenkins, knew me personally. He stepped out of the car, took one sniff and said, "Dang, that smells amazing. What are you cooking, Judge?" "Ribs," I said, grinning. "Karen says it's a human rights violation." Karen marched up to him, hands on hips. "Officer, he's burning meat in a residential area without HOA authorization. That's domestic pollution." Jenkins tried not to laugh. "Ma'am, I'm not sure barbecue counts as pollution." "It should," she snapped. "I demand you issue a citation." He sighed, looked at me, and then back at her. "Ma'am, this property isn't under HOA jurisdiction. It's private ranch land." Karen froze. "No, it's part of our community extension." He pulled out a map. "Says right here it's exempted from HOA governance. Always has been." I leaned on my grill and said casually, "So, no crime, no pollution, no human rights violation?" Jenkins smirked. "Only violation I see is me not having a plate." Karen's jaw dropped. "You're siding with him? He's endangering people." Rick tossed her a paper plate. "Endanger yourself with some ribs, Karen." She slapped it away. "This isn't over." "Oh, it's over," Jenkins said, reaching for a rib. "And it's delicious." Karen stormed off, muttering about lawsuits and meat terrorism. By the time she disappeared into her house, half the sheriff's department was sitting around my fire pit enjoying lunch. But here's where it gets really good. The next week, the HOA board had an emergency meeting. Karen had submitted a formal resolution to ban all outdoor cooking within 500 feet of residential structures. Except, during that same meeting, one of the newer board members revealed something funny. Apparently, the HOA bylaws had been under county review for months, ever since the wall incident. The county's legal office, mine, had quietly added a clause ensuring HOA authority does not extend beyond officially zoned subdivision lines. Translation: Karen had no power over my property at all. When she realized it, she nearly fainted. Her motion was rejected unanimously. One board member even said, "Karen, maybe you should just move to a tofu commune if you hate barbecue this much." That Friday, I hosted another cookout, bigger, louder, smokier. The sheriff's department came back. Rick made a sign that said, "Community Human Rights Violation. Free ribs for everyone." We hung it right where Karen could see it. She didn't call the cops that time. She just pulled her curtains closed and sulked in silence. Duke wagged his tail beside the grill, eyes on the meat. "See that boy?" I said. "Justice served with extra sauce."